Welcome to the Fountain Inn Chamber and the City of Fountain Inn's Main Street program on analytics for your small business. Today we have Amberly Steele with Main Street, City of Fountain Inn, and we're super excited to present to you some analytic information. Now, this will only be relevant if you have already claimed your business through Google My Business. If you have not, we will have another video on how to claim your business through Google My Business. I would also like to remind you that if you have a business, you're most likely also on Yelp and Bing and several other platforms. So this is not about those platforms. This is specifically about Google Analytics, and I'm going to go ahead and let Amberly take it away with some explanations and some great tools and tips for your business on how to manage this and see more about Googling your business. So, Amberly, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you and
Okay,
mute
hi.
myself just in case.
I just switched my screen. Can you still see my screen? I just moved.
We can only see we see your screen, but not the screen that you were showing. So
Okay. All right, I'll go
there
back.
we go. Now we can see
Okay.
the analytics. Perfect. It looks great. And now I want to go over so there's an active user per minute, another on that page. So this is actually connected through your Main Street fountainin.com website, which we've been pushing out to folks as well. I think you've had that website about a year,
Um,
maybe
it-
a little less than a year.
oh, no, about a year and a half. It
Oh, okay.
was October of 23.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let
So,
you take this away and explain all of this to us because there's lots of bells and whistles and information here, and I think you can help us understand it.
yeah, I'm going to try to just keep it. We're just going to focus on one topic today is going to be kind of like basically focus on your users and where they're coming from, and how they're finding you on the web because this can, Google Analytics is an amazing tool. You can find out a lot of your um, information about your target audience and who's coming from where, but we could end up in the weeds. So I thought I would just go over a few things. Um, like Marnie said, you do have to actually install the code, the Google Analytics code on your website. If you have not done so, that is the only way that you'll be able to access any of these data points. And they've made it actually very much more simpler instead of the code. Now there's widgets, there's depending on what system that you're using for your website. So if it's Wix or Squarespace or WordPress, they typically all have a very easy way of integrating Google Analytics into your site. Um, if you don't have it, that's the first step, obviously, is to create an account. You will need a Gmail email address. Even if you don't actually use Gmail, that's just how you'll use that to log in. So this is basically once you have set up your your account and you've implemented the code, this is basically like the analytics. This is your main screen that you'll come to after you set it all up. So this is home under analytics. Some people have more than one website. We do because we have the city website, but I'm just using Main Street Fountain Inn. And this is a whole nother thing that you could get into with properties and apps. And again, I'm just going to keep it website, Main Street, open. And so this is just very basic homepage. Um, but what I want to do and what I want to show you is the reports, because this is really what we care about. So there's a snapshot page. And this page actually allows you to set up whatever reports you want. So they do give you some real basic kind of 5 or 6 standard reports. They're called cards. But if you want to learn something else that isn't on here, you can add one. And so this way, instead of going into each individual page to find out this information, it's all in a snapshot. Over here, you'll be able to add some comparisons if you want. You can also share the report. You can also edit it. So, for example, if you want to add, one thing I don't have on here, whoops, is the devices. So where are my users coming from as far as mobile or desktop? And the reason that's important is because as a business, you want to find out, are people sitting at their desk and perusing websites for no reason? Are they driving around the town and can't find us? So it's kind of just an opportunity. And it also gives you a chance to make sure that you are meeting the needs of those people that are looking for you online, and making sure if you have a high mobile presence, is your website mobile friendly, or do you have an app, or do you have an easy way of somebody being able to click and call now, or your directions, link to maps, any of that kind of information. So I'm going to add, you just customize the report. And so over here, you see the cards. And so these are the cards that we already have that you just saw on the previous page. And then they're listed here. So I want to add a card. And so there are a variety of different measurements available. And again, like we could spend days on going through all of this stuff. But if you look down here under user, because that's what I want to know the people who are coming to my site, what are they using? And I'm going to look at not device model, but if I click on this, I can look at device category. So that isn't as intuitive as it should be, but basically look at device or you're gonna, I guess that's the only one with the drop down. And then you'll see what your other option is. So that's category. So you're gonna click check, and then you're gonna add to cart. And so then when you scroll down, you're gonna see it on your card. And so remember, this is kind of your snapshot overview of your reports. So once that is done, we don't need that up anymore, but save it. You can, if you want to do multiple reports, depending on who you need to provide the information to, maybe you have some people that want to only know certain information, so you can change different reports. I'm just going to keep this as mine because this is just for me. So it's saved. All right. So I'm going back to my snapshot. Another thing that I want to look at while I'm in my snapshot, so I do this monthly, but this date up here isn't month, beginning and end. So this gives you the chance to actually provide a summary or a timeline that fits with your certain goals. So if you want to know the last week, or you want to know last year, or you whatever you want to know, and or you can compare. So if you want to see how many more people are looking at our site versus a year ago, we can do that. So compare, and then here's the dates. So if I want to look at the 1st to the 31st, compared to last year, oopsie. And then I'm going to just apply. And so here are your different date ranges. So typically, if I'm going to do a comparison, I'm going to do it on this page. But again, if you're just trying to look at a snapshot and have multiple things, this is the way that you're going to have it. So you're going to be seeing what your active versus your not active. And it looks like we didn't really have much going on yet. So I'm going to cancel the custom comparison. And I'm just going to look at last month for this year. So during the month of January, we don't have much happening in January, so I'm not surprised to see pretty low visitors. There just isn't much that we're doing for any reason for people to come to our website unless we have blog entries or any other information. I'm trying to build this up and make this definitely more interactive and provide more information on it. I just haven't done that yet. So maybe a year from now, this will be a much higher number. But active users versus new users. So the new users are people that had never been to the site prior to January 1. So that number is very important because you want to see, are we bringing in people who've never been to our site before? And then the active users are these are just people that have either been here or haven't been here. So this one is kind of just a general, how many people looked at your site during the month. Not necessarily someone who's never seen your site before, but somebody who is coming to it for the first time. So either way, those are the active. So I always like looking at this number because I like to see like who had heard about us before that maybe checking us out now. If you want to see a spike, or you do see a spike and you want to know, oh wow, that day we had 70 people coming to this site. Maybe on the 12th we posted a blog post or did some kind of other call to action to go to the website for more information. And so that may have been a reason that that there was a spike. So you can usually kind of know based on your marketing plan if the reasoning for the spike. And if not, it's kind of interesting to find out, huh? So that is just in general your users. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, this to me is my favorite thing, and this is the search queries. And basically, when you talk about a Google search, this is what you're talking about. You're talking about the words that people typed in to get to your website. So when you have a marketing campaign, or you're targeting an event, or you're targeting downtown Fountain Inn, you want to see these in your top 10. Your top 10 results are your bread and butter, especially if they're good terms. So double check the date. It's staged. Sometimes it'll change. So we're looking in January. We're seeing some peaks and valleys here. That's the 26th. No idea. Probably did a Facebook post about farmers market. So they can click from Facebook onto the website, but here what they did is they typed in the word Fountain Inn Farmers Market. And in the position on the Google search, oops, sorry, 2.84 was the website. So basically, what that means is that was when you go into a search, it was the second result. And when you look at, let me type in real quick. So, oh no. So right now, can you see my screen still? Okay, so right now, it's coming up as number 1 and number 2, but this is just a link to our farmers market. So we're doing good. Because we're filling up. However, it's Fountain Inn, Farmers Market Fountain Inn. We should be in first place for that. And there's no sponsored listings, but if I just typed in farmers market, I was trying to find a sponsored link and it doesn't look like. Maybe if I do near me.
And Amberly, it may not because you're on the city Google page. So it may be
Right.
just trying to push out your information to you.
Yeah, and
with your own page.
so Google also, it's smarter than all of us. It uses your IP address, which is another reason why knowing if you have mobile visitors, because that's harder. It knows, it gives you the results based on your location. So this knows my computer is here, and so it's going to give me, especially because I said near me, it's going to give me the closest ones. So my goal is Fountain Inn Events to keep increasing that. When you see here where it says organic search clicks, that means that, stop. That means that out of the 178 clicks from our website, based on these words, Fountain Inn Events, somebody clicked on our search result 15 times. But it was shown as a result 56 times. So that means 56 different people typed in Fountain Inn Events, or the term came up, and then 15 people actually clicked on the search result. So that's where this click-through rate comes. And a lot of times, if you are contacted by a marketing firm, they will say, well, we can guarantee a 55% click-through rate or 85% click-through rate. Be wary of that because all that means is somebody uniquely went in, typed in this, and clicked on it. It doesn't come, it's not tracking conversions, it's not tracking an appointment. You can get all of that, but just be wary on someone trying to just sell you click-through rate. Also, the position for Fountain Inn Events is about 1. So that makes me very happy. And you can sort all of these. So this right now, this whole thing right now is sorted by the highest clicks. But again, my happy place is knowing what terms are in the top 10 results. So if you look here, all these are in first place. Now, obviously, you guys know Christmas in our town is a big deal. Sorry, hold on. Organically, in January, 3 people typed in Christmas in our town and 3 people clicked on the result. So there's 100% click-through rate. So see, there are over nearly 1,200 results. So you could keep going on and on and on and on, but it just depends on what your goals are. So if you want to know your top 10, you're going to see here, what place these are in. So we're still getting carriage ride. We're still people are still searching for that. A lot of Christmas stuff still in January.
They might be trying to figure out how to get their tickets for next year.
I wouldn't be surprised. And then you can also, again, up here, this is the chart showing the day, but you can change this. So if you just want to look at month, week, you can just see. So this chart doesn't really matter. This is an average over a week or a day. I'd stay away from a day because that's just going to give you a very skewed, unless you're looking for something very specific. So Jeepers Creepers, we didn't have anybody actually type it in, but they may have typed in a different similar term and the search result came up because Google thought, oh, yeah, that's similar to this. And so they didn't click on it. They didn't search for it, but they were exposed to it. So they possibly saw it in a result. Same with Juneteenth. Main Street had 6 people type it in. So hopefully that makes sense where you can see public parking, my least favorite 2 words. And then you can just keep scrolling through here.
So I think there's a lot to see here. We could probably do a webinar every day for the rest of the year on all the different modules and all the different places to interact with this.
Yeah. So this is just this is like search engine optimization 101.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know, how are people finding me? And here's Aunt Het. But this was from January and your event was in October.
Because those
bakery
vendors
ingredients.
are already scheduling. I've got emails from
Right,
vendors who want to get that on the schedule for now. So yeah, I can see how that could be useful for a lot of people. Whether it's vendors for events or you've got your different bands that are interested in participating in
right.
Sounds of Summer. So they all want to get on that schedule now. And so it just goes to show that people are always looking and they're always watching. And this is a great way to show what they're
That's
looking
fair.
for. Amberly, I wanted to ask, do you have in your keywords on the back part of the Main Street Fountain Inn page, do you have fountain spelled incorrectly?
So I was just going to talk about the words. So say I want to increase my clicks. Um, I would look, like you just said, I would look at, well, you know what? I want to start ranking better for bar. Is that spelled in? Oh, I thought I just saw one spelled incorrectly. Um, let's see if I can find one that's actually.
Because that was something I actually learned by accident, by putting fountain in and switching that A and that I. I see it happens often, but when we saw it, we saw that the results were still pretty high for having it misspelled, because sometimes people, when they're searching, will type something quickly and it will be misspelled.
So here I'm going to search our impressions, and so
Hmm.
this is from high to low. Um, and these are the results that have come up, not necessarily typed in. I guess I
Hmm.
don't really. Oh wait, you know what? I'm on 40. Hold on. Let me go back to the. Yeah, it looks like most of the time it is.
Your folks are spelling it correctly. Yeah.
I'm sure that I'm sure that there are some
It's
in
in there
here,
somewhere, I'm sure.
but
Yeah.
just not in January. If I did this for the last 3 years, who knows? This
It
is
may look a lot
only
different.
January.
That is
So,
awesome. So that's just a sliver to just
yep.
wrap it up real quick, because I know we're running out of time as far as our recording goes.
Oh,
We're gonna have some more topics on this, but this is just a sliver of your Google Analytics, of your organic search. You can see there's so many more reports and things in there. Um, you
mhm.
know, I encourage all business owners to at least engage with this or have someone on your payroll engaging with this. If you have any children or grandchildren, they do a great job with this. And of course, there's always opportunities for interns and other low cost ways. And then we have plenty of members that also help with search engine optimization. We hope that you've enjoyed this. Brief overview of Google Analytics and what you can do with this. And we encourage you to share this replay. We will be back next week with a virtual business expo and job fair through your Fountain Inn Chamber of Commerce. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you again soon.
Thanks.